Hello everyone, or good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are welcome here on the Éveil des Consciences platform. So these images you see here, I would like you to start by sharing them first. These images are making headlines in the sub-regional news. Yes, the sub-regional news is the news, the continental news. So it's only being talked about on the African continent. These images right here. Others won't talk about it. They won't talk about it. These images show the consecration of President Ibrahim Traoré by other English-speaking African peoples. These are people from Ghana, our brotherly people from Ghana, who in any case even have difficulty fully understanding French. They are an English-speaking people who speak English, but through various translations and so on, they understand. These people understand the role played by Ibrahim Traoré, the role that Ibrahim Traoré is currently playing for all of Africa. On the sidelines, at the margins, alongside the support we have seen, like the various shows of support across the African continent, which have been in favor of President Ibrahim Traoré, Ghana is now joining in. And this time, Ghana has decided to recognize Ibrahim Traoré as an emblematic figure in the fight against imperialism in these current times. Ibrahim Traoré. That is to say, this goes beyond the borders of Burkina Faso. Ibrahim Traoré is now a son of Africa. He is a role model for the younger generation. He is even a reference point for the elders. Let's dive deeper into the details. What exactly happened in Accra, Ghana? But before we continue, I ask you to share this video conference as much as possible. Ibrahim Traoré belongs to us. This man is ours. Yes, it is up to us to protect him. It is up to us to value him. When Thomas Sankara was fighting, we were either not alive or we weren't there at that time. All right? Even if some clever people, but with Ibrahim Traoré, it's happening right before our eyes. We're going to stay seated. Let them do to him what they did to Thomas Sankara, what they did to Patrice Lumumba. When we hear the story of Patrice Lumumba, it brings tears to our eyes. When we hear what happened to Thomas Sankara, to Nelson Mandela, we are moved to tears. Today we have our own hero, who must be protected, who must be valued. So, share this video conference as widely as possible. This is a mobilization that took place in Ghana. Ghanaians from all walks of life came together, united in purpose, to show their unwavering support for the respected comrade president and to formally recognize him as the most prominent and influential figure of the 21st century in the ongoing fight against imperialism. It should be noted this happened yesterday, May 25th, 2025. I believe it was African Day, the celebration, I think, of the OAU or something like that. In any case, it is dedicated to Africa. On the occasion of this ceremony, they chose to mobilize and march. They organized a march. And what did they call this march? They called the march with Traoré. March with Traoré. I want enough sharing so that those Westerners can see. It's true, many of them are already here. They watch our video conferences, but share as much as possible. So, it was on the occasion of Africa Day. Ghanaians organized a solidarity march in support of Captain Ibrahim Traoré and the people of Burkina Faso. The march is titled March with Traoré. The march brought together hundreds of young people from all over Africa who live in Ghana. Several nationalities joined the Ghanaians. Without the Burkinabe, right? The initiative did not come from the Burkinabe. It was the Ghanaians. The Burkinabe who are in Ghana were simply surprised and very happy. Very, very happy. So, at the event, those who organized the march, such as community leaders and activists, the organizers emphasized that it was time for Africa to unite in order to lead a shared and common struggle. It is time for Africa to unite to lead a common struggle. The organizers affirm affirmed that Africa should show the Western world that it is capable of handling its own problems. And it is this path that Ibrahim Traoré has shown. Ibrahim Traoré has shown the West, these are the organizers speaking. Ibrahim Traoré has shown the West that Africa can handle its own problems without the West. That's what they said. It was a march in support of Ibrahim Traoré. Even though it must be said that Ibrahim Traoré is not alone. We have President Assimigoita. We have President Tchiani. It's a force. And each of them has a role to play. Among these three, there is the strategist. There is the one who stands in front as the leader. There is the wise one who is there. It's up to you to guess. So each has their role, and we must not confuse these roles. Each of these roles truly contributes to establishing Africa's sovereignty on all fronts. Each of these roles truly contributes to concretely fighting against current imperialism. So, let's continue. The organizers say this. The Westerners eliminated great Africans like Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Muammar Gaddafi, Thomas Sankara. But we must not allow the same fate to befall Captain Ibrahim Traoré. He must be protected at all costs. The coordinator of this march, Mr. Williams, emphasized that he must be protected, that Ibrahim Traoré must be protected at all costs. They took the opportunity to call on all African leaders to protect Ibrahim Traoré and on all African organizations to protect Ibrahim Traoré. The Burkinabe community in Ghana expressed their delight at the support coming from Ghana. This community also expressed its support for Captain Ibrahim Traoré by stating that they are satisfied with the major economic transformations in Burkina Faso. And together, they called on the African Union to protect Captain Ibrahim Traoré. So, the theme of this year's important Africa Day celebration was Justice for Africans and People of African Descent through Reparations, an annual commemoration. Honoring the memory of those who suffered under slavery and colonialism, while affirming the right of Africa and its diaspora to truth, justice, and reparations. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the heartfelt cry that comes to us straight from Ghana. People who don't speak French like this, since their official language is English. It's like Liberia, which we recently saw supporting Ibrahim Traoré. Now Ghana is joining the movement. And of course, the appeal they made, they asked all heads of state to protect Ibrahim Traoré. On the contrary, let me tell you clearly, these heads of state are jealous of Ibrahim Traoré, except for those from the AES, because the work Ibrahim Traoré is doing, the AES members, that's the result. The others are walking. They say to him, well, you go ahead. Yes, it's a synergy of action. But the other heads of state are jealous. They would like people to talk about them all the time. I repeat, the other African heads of state are jealous. Because first of all, they are not loved by their people. Yes. Or if the people are with them, the people are just pretending. But for Ibrahim Traoré, it's real love that the people have for him. And beyond borders, people love him from the bottom of their hearts. Not because he has money, no. But because of his vision. The African heads of state who are dinosaurs will not try to protect Ibrahim Traoré, except for a few, yes, who have the new mentality. But most of them will try to bring him down because Ibrahim Traoré is bringing down their system. Ibrahim Traoré is in the process of deconstructing their system. The system that consists of bowing down before the former colonizer to enrich their own pockets and those of their families, all while neglecting the greater interests of the nation. And today, Ibrahim Traoré puts the interests of the Burkinabe people first, and not just the interests of the Burkinabe people, but the interests of all of Africa. He prefers to drive vehicles that are not luxury cars. He chooses to live with true simplicity, not to embezzle money, but to reinvest the little that comes in for his people. He is a model president. It makes others jealous, since the others do not invest in their own countries. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the very good news. I ask you to share it as much as possible. Share it in every group you can. I will be back with you shortly by the grace of the Almighty. With more news, this was the voice of your humble and faithful servant, Robert Théa.